My first experience of a fast estate car was when my dad ordered a Tornado Red Passat GT. I think I must have been about 9 years old. I remember picking it up from the dealership. The smell was amazing. It's just like my Audi, in fact. But I remember picking it up and almost straight away going to Silverstone to GTI Engineering. As a 9-year-old, I had no real understanding of what was happening. I just remember spending the day in Silverstone, getting in and out of Mark II Golf GTI race cars all day and being really excited. I now realise that what was actually happening was that my dad had decided to have his 1.8 litre Passat GT increased to 1.9 litres and a slightly livelier cam was put in place. But yeah, it was a very cool car, and I think that is what started my slight fascination with fast estate cars that has seen me into my 30s. My name is Mark Birch and I drive a 1994 Audi RS2. So in 1994 the RS2 was launched and I was 14, and I remember seeing it on an advertisement or in an Audi showroom and just thinking, what a cool car. Fast forward 15 or 16 years and quite a few cars, an Alpha 33 16 valve, numerous Mark II Golfs, a couple of Passats, and I met a pal of mine, Rob, who I discovered had an RS2. Rob allowed me to borrow his car for the weekend, and my partner Jeanette and I ended up driving to Aosta over the Col de Petit Saint Bernard in the car, which was fantastic. There's so many unique parts on the Audi RS2. There were parts that were built in really low quantity, just because the volume in which the Audi RS2 was produced. The brackets for the wing mirrors, all the black plastic interior trim, the inlet manifold, the exhaust manifold, all designed by Porsche. It's amazing. They're very difficult to come by these days, which makes it quite a tricky car to own. I think that's probably reflected by the original price of the car. In 1994, I recall seeing on the receipt that I have in my paperwork, I think my particular car cost just over the equivalent of 63,500 euros, which is probably about 120 or 130,000 euros in today's money. Rob actually proposed an arrangement that was mutually beneficial, which meant that I was able to take ownership of the car. That was 5 years ago, and I don't regret a minute of it. I bought the car to use it as an everyday car. It's actually the perfect car for what I do. I'm a ski instructor, and it's brilliant for getting around the Alps. With the Quattro system, it lives up to its legendary reputation. It's got to be said, it's fantastic in the snow. It's the right size, you can get loads of kit in it, and it performs as a daily driver should. It stopped becoming my daily driver after somebody drove into the car, and as a result I needed to replace the bumper. I had no idea. I hadn't anticipated the cost of a replacement bumper to be so enormous. So at that point I decided to keep it as a car that I just use at the weekends. That said, it's not a car that likes being used occasionally. It wants to be used all the time. So we use it as a family quite a lot. We use it for going on holiday, going away for the weekend, for going down to the lake in Annecy or whatever. Yeah, it's a great car. It's meant to be used, and that's how it shall remain. Certainly, whilst we own the car. For me, the Audi RS2 is the ultimate in versatility. It's the absolute sweet spot. It's old enough to be classic, but modern enough to use as it was intended. It can be as docile as it needs to be when it needs to be docile, but equally it can be a very exciting car to drive. It's built like modern cars just aren't built anymore. It's such a nice place to be. Ultimately though, it's the fact that it's so underrated, and you drive past people and those that don't know just think it's a 20-year-old Audi estate car. But those that know what it is, and the reaction that you get from them is lovely. People smile at you, they wave at you, they nod at you. Generally, people are incredibly approving, and that's really cool. It's really quite a unique driving experience.